Welcome back to Junkyard Builder, where we are picking off exactly where we left off the last time, and hopefully our car is no longer stuck in the warehouse. So I've saved the game, come back out to go back in. Oh, beauty. So we'll tempt fate and put it back in. We're now getting the insert. Perfect, that's what we wanted to see. Let's stick 4 tyres on whilst we've got it up on the ramp. And that should leave us needing 1 door, the front left door, to have a fully restored vehicle. We're running out of tyres here as well, so we had a healthy stack of those with the original amount of stuff that we had. Ooh, so that's how we move our vehicles around. Try and do that a bit better. And we'll put that down there. So, humpback fully restored, 795. Trophy 860. We need a wheel. We need 2 wheels for the ARPA. So let's get that other wheel on. Put that in. So we just need 1 wheel, I think, now. Or was it 2? 1 wheel to complete that. So I'm trying to progress through the game without selling all the vehicles, essentially, as you can probably see there. And just bang them around the yard unceremoniously. Let's get rid of this brick with the old hammer. Like so. Put that away. And we'll get this over here. So then we should end up with, hopefully, a fully completed range of cars that we don't need to sell. So we need a alloy wheel for the ARPAS to complete that, and we need the front left door of the coupe. We're currently trying to get towards $3,000 so that we can open up one of these mysterious containers, see what treasures lurk inside. So let's get a little bit of production going on here. So we've established that the scrap metal machine needs 5 items and a bale of processed scrap. Gives us $100. So anything over, or equal, I should say, equal or over to $20 per item is not going to make us any profit at all. So the barrels, although they look like there should be more there, 13. There's nothing here that's going to make us a loss. So what we can do is let's empty our cart of the raw materials that we need. Put those into piles next to the relevant machine. Don't need to be too... Actually, I'm going to move... I think most of it was metal, so let's make life easier and move it over. Da-da. Metal. So each of the processing machines is going to take 4 minutes. These other machines that we got here will take 3 bits of material instead of 5. Set that one going. and we'll see if we can plod towards our next unlock. Looking forward to seeing what's in those containers actually. So every time we've had to spend money on something, it's usually been profitable. So when we go to the other areas, there's usually more materials than you've paid to get there. So the scrapyard is the one where the bigger quality items are, so it costs more to get there. So that's going to cost $500, and we managed to fit 3 vehicles into our van on our last trip, which made us a nice little profit. Let's get some of this sorted out. So the metal chair, how much was that? So that's 25, so we don't want to recycle that. We'll sell it on. Metal table, 30. It's already been cleaned, so we can't upscale that anymore. So that 2 can go into metal. The mattress is something that we can clean up to increase the value. So I'll just put that over there for now. And we have quite a lot of, so actually we'll put them into the cart. We have quite a lot of different cabinet components, but not really much in the way of having enough to complete one, or one that's going to make us a tidy profit. Let's just rotate this. So that's missing all the drawers. So we got quite a lot of piles of different cabinet bits behind our workshop at the moment. How many items we got in there? Mattress is dirty, so we can clean that up. That's fine. Plastic and paper we can recycle. We do want to take the car parts and keep those in a pile at the back of the yard. So we'll just, and we can sell the hammer in the shop. It looks like our metal bale has stopped processing, so that's going to give us 100. And I was going to try and keep these, but we need the money at the moment. We need the money to move towards our target to unlock a container, which is the aim of today's playthrough and this particular video. We'll pick that up. So we need 5 in here, and we're working off the fact that anything over $20 we just need to go ahead and flip for cash, because otherwise we're not going to make a profit. These bits of concrete and whatnot have no purpose what we've been able to establish yet. I'm sure, as I've said before, it will come back to haunt us later on, but for now we'll just get rid of them. $30. Does that say it's made out of a particular material? Just other. I don't know. It won't let us put in mixed, unfortunately. So we'll just run that over to our storage. So that we can sell it in the workshop. let's, what do we need to do to make some cash? We can move the metal over. I think it's time for a trip. Another trip off site to try and make some more cash to get us towards our next goal. Because I really do want to see what's in those storage units. So we've got 3 plastic. We put in there. Our metal's still processing. We only have 2 paper items at the moment. Is this paper? That would work out quite nicely. Yes, it is. So we can set all of our machinery off on its merry way. Oh, we did have 3 anyway. That's fine. And so the same sort of principle here is that I think the paper makes us bales that are worth 60, and it's 3 items, so anything over $20 we want to just flip straight away. Let's get a wriggle on to the back of the yard with our cabinetry. I'm not going to empty it at this particular point. So we have a trunk on that one. We don't on that one. We don't have a bonnet on either, so we can't fully restore either of those because we did get a trunk dropped off in our last delivery. So we've tidied that up quite nicely. That's all tidied away. We'll take the... Oh, it's a left door actually. So we'll take this into our car area. We're looking a little bit light on tyres now as well, unfortunately. So that is a left door. Okay, so we could put it on. Let's do that. We'll put the left door on so we can keep track of what we need. Pop that in there. Coupe. So we can put this on. Perfect. How many tyres do we have left? Probably not enough. We'll pop the ones that we do have on. So we are missing a hood and a trunk on this little fella. Otherwise, I would just leave him in there for now, actually, until we need that area. Just have a quick look around our yard. Looks like there's a tyre over there, actually, that we missed. Pick that up. There we go. And is that another one there? Oh, okay. Did we put the tyres on? Short memory. We'll pop that down there then. Leave that on there. And it said that some of our processing had stopped. So let's get the metal sold for 100 and the next batch going. You'd think the drums were worth more money actually. And I actually thought because the metal processor was one of the more recent ones, I actually expected a better return. So I'd been keeping all the metal items in the yard back for that specific purpose actually. So a bit surprised it doesn't make us more cash. Okay, so we've got 2 paper bales here, $60 each. So that again is Not a bad return. You can see we've got some plastic here that we can sell. 2,156. I think a trip to another area is in order here. And then we should get to our next milestone. So I think we're going to head on back to the good old scrapyard. What are we doing? 500 yards. $500 light. Let's hope that there are some cars in here. Oh, okay. So there are some, but they've definitely not kind of respawned to the value of before. But we can still, so it costs us 500, we can still recoup some money here, can't we? So 250, I'm not sure we're going to get anything more. Anything more valuable than that, and actually that should be something that we can get into the van quite comfortably. Now, what did we need to finish off the Mini? It's one of the doors, wasn't it? Should really have checked that before we came, because I knew I was going to need one. Okay, let's rotate this, try and make it fit a little bit better. Okay. Okay, we did need that wheel. That'll finish that vehicle off nicely. And won't take up much storage at all there. And then these ones, the Moscoviches. Wow, that's only worth $23. Wow. Okay. Now, this is where it'd be good. When you're watching YouTube videos, people are always asking chat things. And I'm obviously not able to do that. I don't really know what to do for the best here, because I know I needed one of the doors. You know what? They're worth $75. So it's still a fairly high value item. So we'll take both. Just for certainty. So we'll take the other door for the humpback as well. That way we know that we got it covered, so we can restore the humpback. We also needed something for the coupe as well, wasn't it? And I believe that was one of the doors as well. Let's hope that it's the left back door. And again, if it's not, then this is worth $100. So I'm quite happy that that's a good choice. We got 4 other items that we can fit in. So those bits worth 50, 50, 75, but it'll take up a bit of space. 50 again, yeah. So let's see if we can find some other materials that are a bit smaller but equally valuable. Fire extinguishers are usually pretty good. They're 75, but I don't see any. And the reason I'm not searching through the big pile of garbage, and again, I don't know whether this 90. I don't know whether this repopulates. I know it didn't on my yard, but when you get the upgrades, it means that you can recover more from them. So I'll show you just for the purposes of the video. Let's just have a look around here in case we are missing big value items. So a large dumpster base, are we going to fit those into our vehicle? We are going to try. I'm not confident. I don't know. Oh, that looked like it, didn't it then? Maybe with a bit of rotation, maybe we can make this work. Yeah, it's gone in. So where were we? Yeah, I'll show you in a second, and we'll just get so 80 and not massive. That seems like a good return. Those shelves probably worth a few quid, but look like they need a bit of restoration. So metal, yeah, 70. And so if I just search through one of these piles, then you see you'll get materials out of them. Nothing groundbreaking at all there. Whereas if we go through the upgrades, apparently we can get better things from it. So where we are, we have room for 2 more items. Very much doubt we'll get a dumpster in, but you know what? Let's give it a whirl. How much is the lid worth? Just 30. Okay, let's try and get this dumpster in. We've done it somehow. I don't know how, but it's in there. Right, we got room for 1 more item. I think a car part probably makes the most sense. So that's 75. Are we going to be able to get an ARPUS in? A roof? Again, we'll try. If not, I think we can probably get a bumper in there, and then that should get us a decent amount of cash. Okay, that I thought I'd done it there. Is that in? Let's just get in the truck whilst it's saying that it is. Reverse it all the way back to the entrance. And that will be unloaded into our yard. Okay, so large dumpster base. We'll get that flipped straight away. $100. Our next bale, $100. Dumpster base, I think the same. Oop, get it into the dumpster. Oh, I would have called it a skip myself, but okay, so it's not liking that for some reason. Okay, now it's in. Um, same with the tool chest. Pop that in. And then we'll sell these car parts. Okay, it's not like it. Okay, we got it. And oh, we've had a delivery, and that's included some more car parts. Nice. Let's pop that down there. And what did we need? Oh, it's the bonnet, wasn't it? It wasn't any of those bits. But we can take a bonnet off that. So, and we already had a fully restored one. So, okay, let's do that. We're going to pop him over there. We'll take the bonnet off this one, which is the one that we just got from the other scrapyard. Take the bonnet off. Pop that over there. We'll sell this. Do we need any of the tyres or anything off it? I mean, that's only worth 200 in its current state. So maybe we'll just keep that there for now, just as a one to harvest the parts from, so that we can see just how much a fully restored one is worth. Put that on there. Humpback goes on. And it's okay, so not a massive amount of money for the work involved, but it gets us nearer to that 3,000, doesn't it? And I think, if I'm not mistaken, we got the Arpus tyre. So I'm going to start by taking the door over for the coupe and hoping that it's the right one. I don't think that it is, because it doesn't have a wing mirror. Oh, that's a shame. That is the back door, isn't it? What do we have around the back here? That's a right back door as well. Okay, never mind. Let us sell these bits. So actually that at the moment is worth 250, and that hasn't got tyres, it hasn't got the boot, and it hasn't got two doors, and I think we only made, I'm going to have a look in a minute, like 300 something from a fully restored one. Is that the same what he's worth? Oh, I'll just sell it all. We're almost at our 3,000. We're going to get there in this video, which is good news. We had the Arpus hood that we got. Oh, and the Arpus tyre as well. Beautiful. Which means that we can fully restore our Arpus there. So let's get that onto the assembly line. I'm going to get the tyre. There we are. And that is that completed. So we just need the front door for the coupe to have a set of fully completed vehicles. So that is worth 1,088. So I thought that might be the most. Oops. I thought that might be the most expensive one. You got a whole fleet of vehicles. Take that round the back. In fact, can't sell these bits. I think we might already be at our 3,000 anyway, but okay, so where are we? Sell 275. That goes there. Yeah. Okay, so let's go and have a look in these mysterious containers. So we've got 1, 2, 3 at 3,000, 4, and then we're into 6,000. Ooh. I'm gonna buy this one. Okay, this is not good news. That is, I'm really disappointed with that, actually. That is a really poor return for 3,000. I was expecting there to be like at least a decent vehicle. Maybe there's better things in the other ones. I mean, it's just a game, but everything else has been fairly rewarding. We'll get that going whilst we've got the materials to do it. So the melting pot is our next objective, and I think that was 5,000. So again, we got some work to do there, but in real time, I mean, it's taken a little bit longer, but you know, it's not like we're throwing hundreds of hours into the game by any stretch, and it's enjoyable. It's pretty well paced. So let's get, at least we've got some tyres here. So value wise, say nothing. We're definitely not recouping our money unless those piles of cash are really substantial. Let's pick those up. So we spent 3,000, 100, 200. Yeah, so it looks like we can break the container down as well. Well, trash bags 15, but we can incinerate them for 50. I don't know what happens if there's actually money in them and you incinerate them. I presume we just get the same amount of cash. Okay. Yeah, we're not really recovering our cash at this point, unless the container is worth a bit of money once you break it down. It's a bit of a chance, wasn't it? Oh, there's another pile of cash there. There's a bit of a chance which one we chose. That one is 300. So we'll break the container down once we've emptied it and see what we're left with. We've got a bit of plastic in here. I'll put down here. What else was in there? That wasn't gold bars, was it? What was those bars? Gold bar. Alright. So gold bar's worth 500. So we started off with $3,146. Let's put this onto the processor actually as we do it. Why won't that go on? It's because it's metal. So if we have 3,146 left, once we're all done with all this, that means that we've broken even. Once we've broken down the container, I don't know whether that just means that it'll break it down into metal that we can then use. Just get some metal items in here to get it processing. How many did we have? Is that 5? Yeah. Okay. Bit more plastic. Oop. Plastic baler is doing its job. 2 more bits. Looks like that episode of Storage Wars where they go in and find that the container's pretty much worthless. To be fair, it hasn't been worthless. I'm over exaggerating, but I was hoping there would be some top tier item worth lots and lots of money. And I suppose the quicker you get through the game, the quicker it's over. I mean, I'm not even sure we can do. It's so damaged that we can't really restore that. We could restore the other ones. I think that's going to have to go into metal. No? Okay, I think that's got to go into storage then, that's it. Let's break the container down first and see what we are left with. Okay, so it just breaks it down into smaller metal pieces by the looks of it. Which we can then sell. So we'll sell all of it to see how much we get back. And I think going off our rule of thumb, because it's over $25, it's not worth recycling it. We just sell it. Shame we can't just break into the container, isn't it? Okay, get rid of the hammer and let's sell. Let's scrap all this metal. I wonder if we can put it in the cart for ourselves a job. I left the cart over there, didn't I? Okay, never mind. Try and make speedy work of this. So 2021, I'm not sure we're going to get our money back. Do I need to break that down further? No, it said it was metal. There we go. So if we hit it too many times with the hammer, then we destroy it completely and can't make any money from it. So we just need to keep an eye on that. So then, that's going to leave us with a pretty empty yard once we've destroyed all the containers. I'm not sure what that metal tower is over there. I mean, I'm a little bit less excited about what's going to be in the 6,000 ones now. 6,000 is quite a lot of work to earn, and if there's not very much inside of it, stay. Okay, so that was too big. We do need to break that down a little bit more. I was going to put it in because it was blue. Even though I've been putting pieces of metal into the metal container for what feels like 20 minutes now, I still went to put it into the blue one. Okay, in you go. Yep. So apologies if the screen is a little bit all over the place here as I rush through getting all these done. Just fill up there. In you go. Yep. Two, 4, 2, 1. Break this bit down. Let that fit in, is that what it is? And we've still got a fair few parts to go here. It's quite labour intensive. Can we go in? There we go. Now, if these would have fitted in, I'm not sure they would, into the cart, but the other good thing about the cart is that once you've got it full of the materials, you can just go over to the front of the dumpster, and once you've unlocked the wholesale option, then you can sell the whole of the cart's contents in one go. So that's a bit of a time saver. For now, we're just going to carry on with this. So all in all, I have actually enjoyed my playthrough on the game. I think it's very good value for the amount of hours that I've got out of it. As I've probably mentioned before, in terms of the simulators, I do think it is each to their own, but for me the sweet spot is, a bit of repetition and organisation, but also progression as well. So kind of seeing what you can aim for is good. And I've enjoyed, I wasn't really much of a simulator fan originally, because I didn't really give them a chance, because there's so many games out there, so many like really good games and platforms. So particularly with the world of VR as well, I spent quite a bit of time on the Quest playing those kinds of games because it's just a different level of immersion. And then with the PlayStation Plus subscription, that unlocked quite a nice range of the bigger games as well. So I was intending this weekend actually to start having a look at some of those. So we'll do that at some point. Time's kind of ticking on at the moment. Use the hammer. It's because I've not broken it down enough. Okay. So I was hoping to at least get some first impressions videos out, which sounds a bit odd because they're not new games, but there are some really good games in that catalogue, some of which I'd already bought. So the likes of God of War Ragnarok. Where am I going? Got a bit turned around there. Spider-Man all got really good reviews. So actually within that games catalogue is an awful lot of really good games. Hogwarts Legacy was another one, which again I'd already bought whilst it was in the sale, but you got to have a fair bit of time to invest into those games. So what I used to do is kind of try and do one kind of mission or goal. So the simulators have been a nice little departure from that to kind of just while away a few hours. And they range quite a lot in their complexity as well. So I do think there's quite a few decent kind of simulators in a really good price bracket actually. So if we're looking at the likes of this for kind of 12 quid, I'd say that's good value for money. There are quite a lot of, with no intention to upset any devs, that have spent hours and hours creating those games. There does seem unfortunately to be quite a lot of what look like PC ports that were done rushed and quite cheap, so kind of the same sort of, what's the word I'm looking for, not sandbox, but assets, and then with just a different title dropped over the top. And so some of them you kind of rifle through at a really quick pace because there's not an awful lot of content. Whereas others you've got to really grind. And then on the other end of things, some of them are quite complex as well. And with me, because there's so many games, I think if it doesn't immediately kind of grab my attention, then it's easy to just pick up another game really, especially with the subscription. That'd be a bit different if I'd spent quite a bit of money on a game. So what I tend to do is kind of wait till they've come in the sales. And going back to the VR stuff, the Oculus games, again, there's not really many that sit at the console kind of prices. We seem to be back to cycles now of new releases being kind of 60, 70 quid. Which, for me, I'm just not really at a point where I want to spend that much on a game. So we are almost there with the breakdown of our container. It's been quite a labour-intensive job to get these $25 sheets over. I purposefully haven't sold anything other than what was in the container and the metal from it, just to see how much we made from it. So although I was initially disappointed, that might have come across on the video, actually we're about $100 or so, well, at the moment exactly $100, a little bit less light on our investment. So we started with $3,146 and we got $3,071 after emptying the container. Actually, we didn't sell all the contents. We're keeping hold of the wheels, so there's another $100 there. I'll just have a look at what our next piece of equipment is going to cost us. I think it was 5,000. The melting pot is actually 8,000. So I would say at this stage through our playthrough, as you can see, we've emptied a lot of the resources from the yard. The metal machine here, that's going to give us 100 per block for 5 items. I was hoping that would be a bit of a better return because it was one of the latter things to unlock and quite expensive. And so mostly what we've got left dotted around the yard is metal because we've used pretty much everything else. I've held back from selling the fully restored vehicles. So that's 860, 1088. Now the other humpback that we sold, maybe I was missing something from it, because we certainly didn't get $795 for it. And the coupe, we're missing a door. So I wanted to avoid selling those. I wanted to have one fully refurbished vehicle. We got some other car parts here that we could sell to make some quick cash. We got cabinets in various states of disrepair, none of which we've really got all of the required bits for. That's an oak spire, that's rosewick, so we can't use that. And so we are going to have to balance out some yard management and a bit of processing. At this point in the playthrough, the best thing we can do is, I think, is to spend some money to go to other sites, particularly the other junkyard, and try and fit as many vehicles as we can into the back of our truck. We, of course, also do get our deliveries every 30 minutes. That one is painted and in good working order apart from 2 wheels. So just to round this video off, we'll pop those 2 wheels off, or on even, because we just got some more out of that container. We'll pop that into storage and then we'll see what our cash total is at the end of the video. So we've got 2 tyres that we need to put on. On you go. Nope, it won't let us pick it up now. Okay, and so also in this video, it's probably the first time I've encountered a bug, and now that's the second time, so it seems to be linked to when we put things into this area actually. So again, you can see that the grab button isn't actually working. So the last time that I did that, I saved the game, exited the game and went back in and it worked. So hopefully that works this time as well. Hope you've enjoyed this continued playthrough. Hope you can spare some time to have a look over the rest of the channel, and if you could hit that subscribe button, it would be greatly appreciated. This one is much longer than I originally anticipated. Do try and keep them to half an hour, but I got a bit carried away. I hope to see you in the next one.